Now let us consider what are the limitations of dimensional analysis. Generally, when we take about limitations of dimensional analysis, 4 major concepts we have to remember. What is the very first one? Values of constants of proportionality. Values of constants of proportionality cannot be obtained. Cannot be obtained by dimensional analysis. Using dimensions, we cannot estimate what is the constant of proportionality in any of the equations. So that is in fact a constraint what we have as far as dimensions or dimensional analysis that is concerned. Coming to the second one, you can definitely understand the equations having positive sign or negative sign cannot be derived dimensionally. Derived dimensionally, that is one constraint again. For example, if I consider V is equal to U plus AT, or you can even take the other equation like S is equal to UT plus half AT square. If you look at this equation, there is an addition sign here. There is another addition sign over here. So such equations can be verified using dimensional analysis, but cannot be derived using dimensional analysis. In other terms, I say this way, first use of dimensions you can apply for that, but third use of dimensions you cannot apply for any of the equations of such kind. So equations having addition sign or a subtraction sign cannot be obtained dimensionally, cannot be derived dimensionally. That is another constraint what we have, that itself is otherwise called a limitation for dimensional analysis. What is the next one over here? If you consider equations having more than 3 variables, more than 3 variables. What are the 3 variables? Length, mass and time. More than 3 variables cannot be derived dimensionally. You cannot obtain using dimensional analysis equations having more than 3 variables like mass, length and time. There is no 4th dimension we have. So the equations in which we are finding temperature, the equations in which we will be finding the value of current, the equations in which we people are going to find the luminous intensity or any other physical quantity of such kind other than length, mass and time, those equations cannot be derived dimensionally. That is another limitation for dimensions, and that is also called a constraint here. Now come to the next one, the 4th. Equations having logarithmic values, exponential functions, trigonometric equations, etc., once again cannot be obtained dimensionally. That is the point. So, equations in which we are finding logarithmic values, equations in which we observe exponential values e power x, e power 2x, etc., etc. Similarly, equations in which we are finding trigonometric ratios like sin theta, tan theta, cot theta, like that. F is equal to ma, you can directly obtain using dimensional analysis. But F is equal to mg sin theta, you cannot get. Mg you can get, that sin theta comes under constant of proportionality, like you can say k into mg you will get. But mg sin theta, mg cos theta, all these trigonometric values or ratios, whatever we are having in different equations, cannot be obtained using dimensional analysis. So, one should remember these are the constraints as far as dimensions or dimensional analysis that is concerned. So, constant of proportionality, of course, you cannot directly calculate. Equations having addition or subtraction signs cannot be obtained dimensionally. Equations having more than 3 variables, what should be those 3 variables? They are stipulated ones like length, mass and time. More than that not possible using dimensional analysis. And coming to the last one, equations having logarithmic values or exponential functions, or even for that matter trigonometric ratios, those equations cannot be obtained or derived dimensionally. So, these are the points what one has to remember as far as dimensions and dimensional analysis that is concerned. So, units and dimensions almost in every entrance examination, I am talking of JEE, JEE, every time they are asking one question based on this. So, if you are all thorough with all the units of all the physical quantities what we come across both in +1 and +2 like 11th and 12th, it is definitely going to be beneficial for you to score full marks for one question, which of course is given based on this chapter units and dimensions. But there is another part we have in this, that is error analysis. How to estimate the error in different physical quantities, like we just have to take that one later.